If you lose a piece of your fingertip and you're a small child, a scab will begin to form over the injury. Underneath, special cells begin to gather at the wound site, and in some rare instances, these cells replicate to rebuild the bone, skin, and nail, regenerating the lost fingertip. It may be slightly different in shape or size, but it should still be fully functional. If you get a lobotomy, a long metal pick would be inserted through your upper eyelid, entering the brain's frontal lobe. Once in place, the doctor would swivel the pick, severing connections inside the frontal lobes. This area contains the brain's center for emotion and personality. Doctors once believed that by breaking these brain connections, this procedure would stabilize behavior and calm intense emotions. The day after you die, most of your blood settles in the parts of your body closest to the ground, causing purple and red patches to appear on the skin. Then, bacteria and enzymes break down the organs, releasing gas that causes bloating. After a few weeks, all of the organs and soft tissue, including your eyes, liquefy, and your skin starts to fall off. And over the course of several years, your remaining tissue continues to decay, and eventually all that's left is a skeleton. The day after you die, as the bamboo grows, it pushes through the ground and into the person's body. Now, this torture method is mentioned in some historical accounts, but there is limited concrete evidence of its use. Bamboo can grow up to 3 feet per day, and its sharp tips could indeed penetrate flesh easily. As it continues to grow, it would pierce deeper, causing excruciating pain and severe internal injuries, and eventually it would lead to the death of the victim. As the bamboo grows, if a snake were swallowing you, it would pull your feet and legs into its mouth, while muscle contractions worked to slowly pull you in further. As more of you enters the snake, you start to feel a squeezing pressure as the snake's muscles constrict around you, and you would remain alive during this. But most snakes can't actually fit human shoulders into their mouths. If they could, though, the muscles in the snake would squeeze you so tight that you would suffocate. If a snake were swallowing, when you pull the trigger of a paintball gun, a burst of compressed gas is released from a small tank. This gas pushes a single paintball out of the barrel at high speed. As the paintball travels, it spins due to the gun's design, which stabilizes its flight path. When it hits a target, the thin gelatin shell immediately deforms and cracks. The liquid paint inside is then forcefully ejected, spreading out over the surface it hits. When you pull the trigger of a paintball gun, a burst of compressed gas is released from a small tank. This gas pushes a single paintball out of the barrel at high speed. As the paintball travels, it spins due to the gun's design, which stabilizes its flight path. When it hits a target, the thin gelatin shell immediately forms and cracks. The liquid paint inside is then forcefully ejected, spreading out over the surface it hits. When you pull, your eyes could pop out of their sockets if you hit your head during a car accident. The intense blow causes bleeding inside the socket, which builds up behind the eye. As it continues to bleed, it increases the pressure until it forces the eyeball forward, causing them to bulge out of your head. Doctors must act fast to put your eyes back and save your vision. Your eyes. An ice skate could slide across your fingers and slice them off if you slipped on the rink. And if your ring gets snagged on heavy machinery, it could easily rip your finger off of your hand. When you're in a rush, slamming doors have been known to smash and sever fingers in a split second. And if you're holding a firework when it explodes, this has also been known to blow off fingers. The bullet was headed straight for the man's chest, but in his pocket, he actually had a Nokia phone. Now, these phones are notorious for their durability and strength. As the bullet made contact, it ended up hitting the phone, and while the force did shatter it, miraculously, it absorbed the impact and stopped the bullet before it could hit the man's chest, which ended up saving his life. When you bite your tongue, your jaw muscles are incredibly powerful, capable of exerting hundreds of pounds of force. But your brain will stop you once it senses the pain. However, during a seizure, this protective mechanism can fail. A seizure can cause intense involuntary muscle contractions, including in the jaw, leading to a powerful bite down on the tongue. In severe cases, the wound can be so bad that it has to be stitched back together. When you bite your tongue, your jaw muscles are incredibly powerful, capable of exerting hundreds of pounds of force. But your brain will stop you once it senses the pain. However, during a seizure, if you're ever being abducted, immediately be violent and loud to try and scare them away. If you're taken, your best chance to escape is in the first 24 hours when you're physically strong. Act calm and pretend to follow their rules so you don't get tied up tighter. Ask for small favors like food and water to seem friendly and build trust. Stay alert and memorize everything from the turns they take, the sounds around you, and any other details you notice. That way, when an opportunity to escape comes, you're ready to take it. If you reject your internal organs in a dangerous situation, your attacker will probably run away. Now, humans obviously don't have the ability to do this, but when a sea cucumber is attacked, its muscles can contract, forcing its intestines out through its butt in a sudden burst. These expelled organs are covered in sticky threads that can entangle and distract predators, often saving the cucumber's life. And within weeks, new organs grow back, replacing the sea cucumber's internals. If you reject your internal When a sniper shoots, the wind, even when it's gentle, creates a tiny amount of air resistance on the bullet. And because of its size, just the smallest bit of resistance can push it slightly off course. Now, snipers are aiming for targets that are very far away, so this minor deviation becomes larger as the bullet travels the long distance, which can cause the shot to be missed. As the needle descends, it passes through the fabric and gets caught by a rotating metal piece, which then creates a loop of thread below it. The bobbin thread, located beneath the fabric, catches this loop, interlocking the two threads to form a stitch. Then the fabric is fed through the machine by the feed dogs, which move the fabric forward for the next stitch. Each rotation of the needle and bobbin creates another interlocking stitch, securing the fabric together. As the needle descends, it passes through the fabric and gets caught by a rotating metal. In 2018, a 16-year-old boy crawled into the back of a van and leaned over the seat to reach his tennis racket. But this seat was designed to fold down to make more room in the back. And because of this, it suddenly folded in on him. He was pinned upside down against the rear hatch and couldn't flip the seat back over. His parents weren't around and couldn't hear him. And after a while, the position he was in caused him to suffocate and pass away. In 2018, a 16-year-old boy crawled into the back of a van and leaned over the seat to reach it. When gas forms inside you, your intestines push it toward the rectum, where your poop is stored. Since the gas is lighter than poop, it can pass through any available tiny spaces. The muscles in the rectum relax slightly to let the gas pass while keeping the poop in place. This movement allows farts to slip around your poop and exit your body.